In the final episode of Disney+Hotstar's The Night Manager Part 2, our hero Shan Gupta, played by Aditya Roy Kapoor, is wearing a bow tie. In the midst of a casino while doing his undercover suave spy James Bond thing, he's wearing an almost comically oversized bow tie, but none of the characters around him seem to notice. Did Shan intentionally wear a distractingly massive bow tie as some sort of weird spy mind game? Was it part of his mission? Did the costume designer have a grudge against Aditya Roy Kapoor? Was it a prank perhaps? The fact that that bow tie has seared itself into my subconscious more than most of part 2 of this show is hardly a great sign. The official Hindi remake of the popular 2016 British series of the same name, here adapted by directors Sandeep Modi and Priyanka Ghosh and writer Sridhar Raghavan, I quite liked part 1 of The Night Manager. It was big, flashy, star-led event TV done well. Moody, hot people, sexy foreign locations, an accessible, enticing, focused plot. The ending of the 4-episode part 1 seemed to suggest that that was all build up, and this second chapter is when things really kick off. Here's when the fun really starts, it seemed to say. If only that was the case. With the help of lovably insubordinate, rules-be-damned raw agent Lipika Rao, played by a standout Tilottama Shom, magnetic, mild-mannered night manager Shan Gupta has now successfully infiltrated and risen up the ranks of the operation of notorious arms dealer Shailendra Rungta, aka Shelly, played by an impressively unnerving Anil Kapoor. While it offers the same flashy packaging and globe-trotting scale, alas, part 2 makes part 1 look like a triumph of storytelling in comparison. So much so that I just use the word alas. It's just an alas-worthy conclusion to the series. Not only does it fail to double down on the elements that made the first 4 episodes a winner, simplicity, shininess, and stardom, this middling second chapter just highlights the central plot issues of the original story. A charming hotel manager quickly infiltrates the watertight arms-dealing operation of a terrorist and starts to gradually destroy it from within, while said terrorist tries to figure out who's responsible for systematically undoing his empire, as if it isn't glaringly obvious. But despite its thin premise, the original British show, which starred Olivia Colman, Hugh Laurie and Tom Hiddleston, worked because it was drowning in tension, chemistry, great performances, and giving these characters a sense of interiority. But this Hindi remake, and especially these 3 final episodes, fall short on multiple counts. Let's talk about tension, for example. The essence of this story is good guy spy dude goes undercover to work for scary bad dude's evil organization while trying to get proof to the authorities at the risk of getting caught and killed at any point. But here in this concluding chapter, where you'd hope the life-threatening stakes were at their highest, we're barely made to feel on edge. In the bloated and particularly sluggish 6th episode, for example, there's a well-executed sequence in the middle of the desert. Shan is in the middle of nowhere amidst a small army of Shelley's henchmen. We see him sneak around the camp and desperately try to send a secret message to Lipika about Shelley's scary terrorist plans. But it's one of the only times you feel any sort of tension across the 3 episodes. The serviceable craft, along with the excessively spoon-feedy dialogue from writers Akshat Gildial and Shantanu Srivastava, also certainly don't do the show any favors. Thankfully, The Night Manager is propelled by its performances. As the dreaded Shelley, when Anil Kapoor unleashes his ferocity and gets violent, in 2 sequences in particular, it's truly unnerving. There's also the impressive supporting bad guys around him. Shashwato Chatterjee as Shelley's right-hand man BJ, Resh Lamba as Freddie Rahman, and a scene-stealing Prashant Narayanan as the leader of a terrorist group. Aditya Roy Kapoor is similarly well cast as Shan Gupta, the deceptively charming empty vessel on a mission who keeps you guessing about what's going through his head. The problem here is that Shan is an objectively interesting character. In the final episode, when you see his darker side unleashed, there's a moment where he's backed against a corner and he lets out a smile. You sense he's enjoying it, he's good at it, he feels alive again. A rebel finds his cause. There's a part of him that's not all that different from the very men he's trying to bring down. But the series isn't interested in leaning into this and giving him much dimension. As Kaveri, Shelley's impractically dressed caged girlfriend who starts to develop feelings for Shan, Shobita Dhulipala is given more to do this time but somehow has less of an impact. It makes you miss the Made in Heaven days where she owned the screen. It also doesn't help that Shan has stronger chemistry with Anil Kapoor's Shelley than he does with Kaveri. Which brings us to the show's larger chemistry and hotness problem. I've said it before and I'll say it again, there's an art to hotness that goes beyond just casting attractive actors. There's an art to capturing it, underlining it, amplifying it, channeling it. Not only is the sexual tension here bland, in the British original, attractiveness and attraction was used as a device to hide these characters' truths. Shelly, Shan and Kaveri are constantly putting up a front to hide who they really are. But here we barely feel that shiny veneer. The Night Manager Part 2 then disappoints in both the external and internal. This final installment is neither here nor there. It doesn't have the substance to be a sophisticated espionage drama, nor does it have the sleek simplicity of a fun action movie like its previous part. The random, convoluted and overly convenient sequence of events at the end of the final episode in particular made me want to apply my mind to something I'd much rather focus on, like unpacking the mystery of a certain cosmically oversized bow tie. You can watch The Night Manager Part 2 on Disney+Hotstar.